Hello all, my name is Anna Lopez, and I did the Strategic Management Plan project on a Honda Motor Company. Here we have the table of contents and everything we will be covering in the presentation, from the introduction, the analysis of an integrated and comprehensive strategic diagnosis, to the finalized assessment and plan. As all of you may be aware of, Honda not only has been around for a while, but has remained very present in the automobile market. Honda was founded back in 1948 and is currently headquartered in Tokyo, Japan. Currently, Honda is actually the world's largest manufacturer of internal combustion engines, and as of 2015, Honda is the 8th largest automobile manufacturer in the world. The photos presented in this slide is of the current Honda logo, along with all the past logos. Additionally, as their logo evolved, so did their car models and styles, like demonstrated in the timeline picture. Strategic analysis allows us to analyze and have a structured view of the external environment. This analysis here gives us 4 different dimensions to study, which are the need being served, which in this case is transportation, technological solutions to satisfy needs, again in this case being electrical and internal combustion vehicle technology, customer types, and geographical areas. This chart shows SVA segmentation graphically. Each environmental need could be fulfilled by the 2 technologies identified on the graph, and for each need and technology combination, there are 2 customer types. And lastly, for each need, technology, and customer type, there are 2 geographical dimensions. Environmental turbulence refers to the amount of change and complexity in the environment of a company. The greater the amount of change in environmental factors such as technology and governmental regulations, and or the greater the number of environmental factors that must be considered, the higher the level of environmental turbulence. In this slide, we have the diagram that demonstrates the environmental turbulence of Honda. Honda cars are sold globally, and therefore this explains their high complexity. Honda responds incrementally fast to change by altering their car's design and software to reflect luxury characteristics without the high price. For this reason, they are comparably fast to respond to market changes and consumer demands. It is predictable that their prices will remain low and transportation will not exceed transportation experience expectations. It has low instability as the middle class and largest socioeconomic class are the main consumers. The rating of the environmental turbulence is 3.2. Given that an average turbulence of 1 means the firm is in a placid environment, and given that an average turbulence of 5 means a very dynamic environment, Honda's 3.2 rating demonstrates a medium level of dynamic environment. Strategy aggressiveness is defined as the environment serving organization's use of tools, techniques, and know-how to position itself in the environment. Specifically, strategy in this context represents the external behavior of the ESO, the products and services that it offers to the environment. Strategy aggressiveness is measured in 2 different ways: the degree of change in the ESO's products and services, sometimes called strategic offerings in the environment, and timeliness, or speed, of changes in products and services relative to competitors. Together, these dimensions give the level of strategy aggressiveness. Honda is classified as moderately aggressive because ESOs extrapolate into the future to determine what products and services to offer. Honda has a strategy aggressiveness rating of 3.0. They continually update their historical products in anticipation of evolving needs of customers. Honda has a good track record of doing this. They provide the latest and best technology in proportion to their prices. Capability responsiveness is defined as the manner in which an environment-serving organization handles change. Specifically, responsiveness in this context represents the internal abilities of the ESO to sense changes in the environment and respond appropriately to the changes. The score for capability responsiveness for Honda for general management is a 2.9. Honda's mission statement is as follows. Maintaining a global viewpoint, we are dedicated to supplying products of the highest quality yet at a reasonable price for worldwide customer satisfaction. With Honda's mission statement being given, Honda expresses their desire to supply the highest quality while offering reasonable prices to their consumers. So, as they attempt to supply high quality products at the lowest price possible to its consumers, Honda itself also seeks to minimize costs on their end. Hence, their goal of being minimal cost. Their success mindset is to respond directly to the consumer by satisfying two of the most important needs consumers have: quality and low price. For this reason, they must have leadership that optimizes in problem solving, as their costs must remain low and their risk propensity not necessarily suppressed, but controlled to also minimize costs, as innovation and R&D might lead to accrued costs that could infringe on their low cost promise to customers. Honda, while doing everything possible to keep costs low, does a good job at having a global environment knowledge base. Honda is one of the most purchased automobile brands thanks to its reasonable prices and upkeep with technology and innovating at the same speed the industry advances. The two measurement scales for organizational capability are climate profiles and competence profiles. Here they are represented for Honda. And here we have diagrams expressing how turbulence, aggressiveness, and responsiveness align for Honda. Veteran analyst Max Warburton and his team at Bernstein Research concluded that Japanese sedans, specifically the Toyota Camry and the Honda Accord, had the roughest path to achieve high profits. Because of their reasonable prices, Honda made it to the top 12 in most profitable automobiles. I believe that Honda can and will continue being a cash cow due to its attractive prices. Its attractive prices drives a lot of demand that makes up for its small margins. The purpose of a strategic issue management system is to identify early and respond promptly to surprising changes both inside and outside the organization. Strategic issue management systems allow us to identify problems early through continuous engagement and periodic or monthly reviews, and maintain a list of key strategic issues. Additionally, with consistent surveillance, the organization will be able to act immediately as soon as issues arise. Senior management will have the resources and authority to initiate any prompt action without delays. Senior management could also delegate these resources and authority to teams that are best equipped to deal with potential issues best. Nonetheless, these teams are not meant to plan for a response, but rather to solve the issue. The way in which responsibilities for these systems would be assigned for Honda Accord SBU would be through the staff group. The staff group is concerned with detection of trends, evaluation of their impact and timing, assessing the time required for response, and altering decision makers about sudden and important issues, and therefore this team would be the ideal team to deal with potential issues. At Honda, behavioral resistance to change the SBU might be met by individuals or a group. Resistance by individuals could occur when a manager is unsure about the impact or implication of a change, when the manager is called to take an uncomfortable risk, or when the manager might feel the change might make him or her redundant. Group resistance could occur when change threatens the power of the group, violates accepted values or norms, is based on information regarded as irrelevant, or is based on a model of reality which differs from the model held valid by the group. Strategic resistance occurs whenever both operating and strategic work compete for management attention. Systemic resistance will always be proportional to the difference between the capacity required by new strategic work and the capacity available to handle it. Furthermore, systemic resistance could occur when strategy aggressiveness and capability are mismatched. During a change in strategy and development, of capability lags behind the development strategy, and whenever the components of capability are mismatched to one another. A way to combat behavioral resistance that Honda could experience is by implementing proactive management. Many times when there are inefficiencies, these issues are treated one at a time rather than treating the issues as a change of process at the roots and sources of the initial resistance. Control meeting diagnose deficiencies but do not address underlying fears, frustrations, or oppositions of individuals, and therefore proactive management should address those individuals' concerns. If change is implemented correctly, change remains stable. To combat systemic resistance, there must be a change in strategy that introduces new products and markets, a change in systemic competence that includes systems, structure, skills, and knowledge, and a behavioral change which involves norms, perceptions, values, models of the world, and distribution of power. In these ways, combating resistance to changes become the solution and new way of implementing change management. When implementing change, we should consider both individual and systemic potential issues and combat them at the source of the initiation of that problem. All in all, we covered how Honda is positioned in its environment according to its strategy, capability, and aggressiveness, how Honda has demonstrated operational strategic success by staying afloat in a moderately aggressive environment, determined why Honda is considered a cash cow, and analyzed strategic issues Honda might encounter while offering recommendations on resistance to change. And this concludes my presentation. Thank you.